News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
When it comes to air quality, it's time to buckle in. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Thursday, August 20th, 2015. There's dense smoke in the Missoula Valley right now. Missoula Bitterroot Valleys in the Frenchtown area, in the Sealy Swan area. And right now, we do have a dense smoke in the Missoula Valley. We have 54 degrees. And our newscast, sponsored by Dig It Excavating, bringing 30 years of excellence to every job. Call 214-4292. Visit digitmontana.com. If your eyes are burning and your throat is hoarse, well, join the club. Sarah Cofield with the Missoula City County Health Department says Missoula did dodge the worst of the region's smoke yesterday, but luck ran out yesterday, and only west winds are in the forecast. Winds finally shifted to the west around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and conditions have rapidly deteriorated. Smoke from fires burning in Idaho and northern Montana are now in the Missoula Valley. Conditions are currently unhealthy for sensitive groups for short-term exposure and headed toward being unhealthy. Frenchtown is smokier than Missoula at the moment. If conditions continue to worsen, it could hit unhealthy very soon. Conditions in Hamilton remain unhealthy right now, and it's only getting worse in the Bitterroot Valley. Let's stick with fires. A large swath of northwest Montana moved into Stage 2 fire restrictions at midnight, including Lincoln, Sanders, Flathead, Lake, and Mineral counties. DNRC spokesman Jeremy Priss has more.
So the biggest change that most people will find is that before, campfires were allowed in designated sites, and under Stage 2 there's no campfires or any open flame devices allowed. It's just reached the point where firefighters are stretched thin, and we really need to commit the resources and take care of the fires we have without any additional starts.
There are also hoot owl restrictions for the use of internal combustion engines in the forest, with a restriction on all use after 1 p.m. Priest says the new restrictions will also affect smokers.
So in addition to no campfires or open flame devices and hoot owl restrictions, we also have some restrictions on smoking, that you must be in an enclosed vehicle or building or area cleared of any flammable material. And we also ask anyone to not operate motorized vehicles off designated roads and trails.
DNRC spokesman Dan Cassidy says although Missoula County is not going into Stage 2 restrictions, parts of Missoula County are.
In Missoula County that encompasses the Swan Valley, we can just only affect what we have jurisdiction over, and so it's going to be within the Flathead National Forested boundaries, because there's a lot of Missoula County down in the Flathead boundaries.
Adrian Beck with the Missoula Emergency Services said current conditions in Missoula County do not warrant Stage 2 restrictions. She also applauded Missoulians for abiding by the Stage 1 restrictions. After a week-long closure due to the Scotty Brown wildland fire, DNRC spokesman Jordan Copen has good news for those who want to travel down the River Junction Road.
We have opened the road to River Junction over by the Scotty Brown Bridge in between Clearwater Junction and Ovando. We have done really good work on the fire, and it is put on patrol at this time. It is fully suppressed and fully contained. We should be good to go in that area.
The Scotty Brown wildland fire was started by lightning during the windy thunderstorms that hit Missoula last week. After igniting on Monday, the blaze quickly grew to 23 acres.
It was just one of those things where we didn't want to take any chances, and a couple of structures were threatened, so we just wanted to make that progress. We wanted to shut down all roads just in case something were to happen. There's a couple, look like garages and cabins and homes, too, people that live in some of those homes year-round.
According to Copeland, the fire came about a half a mile away from homes. There are numerous fires burning up throughout Glacier National Park and Flathead National Forest. The main fires in the area are the Thompson Fire, Granite, and Sheep Fire. While the Thompson Fire is almost 14,000 acres, Public Information Officer Greg DeNitto said their main focus is on a 73-acre fire south of Essex.
Yes, I'll focus primarily on the Sheep Fire. We're seeing considerable increased activity. We're starting to experience significant winds out on that fire, and we are starting to disengage and bring some of our firefighters off of the fire line for safety reasons.
As of yesterday afternoon, there were 30 to 40 firefighters on the scene of the Sheep Fire, while there have been reports of an increase of illegal campfires in the area. DeNitto says he doesn't believe this is the cause of those larger fires, though.
Some cases we do not know, like the Thompson Fire, cause is still under investigation. I believe both the Sheep and the Granite were lightning caused.
A number of northwestern counties moved into Stage 2 fire restrictions early this morning, as we had just reported. A former U of M football player is serving a 10-year prison sentence for raping an acquaintance in 2010 has been moved to the state's boot camp program. Our news partners at NBC Montana reported yesterday's move as part of an agreement the State Board of Pardons and Parole made with Bo Donaldson after his first parole hearing back in May. The parole board denied his request for parole, but recommended him for the 100-day boot camp program. If he's successful, he can go to a 4-month aftercare program in Billings and then return to the parole board to request a parole plan. The board noted that he had successfully completed sexual offender and substance abuse treatment programs at the Montana State Prison. Donaldson was sentenced in 2013 to 30 years in prison, with 20 years suspended. The new editor of the Missoulian newspaper is Matthew Bunk, who comes from Libby, where he was most recently editor and publisher of the Western News. KGVO spoke with Bunk late yesterday afternoon as he was wrapping up his first full day. He said he's a fan of the Missoulian's tradition of what he calls watchdog journalism.
In this day and age, what's kind of unique about the Missoulian is that for a mid-sized or big daily paper, we're able to do some really aggressive projects and do some really cool in-depth investigations, and that's really my forte. That's why I got into this business. I love watchdog journalism, and this newspaper does a good job of that, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Bunk said community, state, and national leaders have a responsibility to be upfront and transparent with the people they serve, and when they're not, that's where the watchdog aspect of journalism comes in.
I feel like it's very important to hold government leaders accountable to the public that they serve, and that was probably my motivation at the beginning, and I think probably it's still some of my motivation today. It's just such a huge, awesome responsibility that we have as journalists, and that watchdog aspect of what we do just excites me, and that's why I get out of bed every day.
Bunk succeeds Sherry Devlin, who has served as editor since 2004. She'll remain at the paper as an associate editor. A Missoula man convicted of shaking his 3-month-old son to death will get another chance to vacate or lessen his 40-year sentence. The Montana Supreme Court ruled earlier this week that a district court must reconsider Robert Wilkes' appeal in the 2008 death of his son, Gabriel. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
A mix of sun and smoke today with our high temperatures in the mid-80s. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with our lows in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.